All right, we back with another episode of KillZ Boredom. I'm your host, Creative J. In the studio, we got Seb here. We got Bundy McBuckets here. And I got a special guest, young king, young legend. We got Jordan St. Pierre in the building. What's up, my man?
Good. Thank you for calling me young.
Oh, yeah. I call you young. You forever young. But we have you here. You are the founder of Something Dope for the people. So amazing open mic in LA and expanding. Tell us how that started. How you got into this space of wanting to see creatives create, artists show their showcase, things like that. Like, how did you get to that point?
Yeah, so like I just always loved playing the role of like connecting people, and just being a part of creating certain atmospheres. So like there was like back when I was in high school, I was in 9th grade, I was hanging out with a lot of seniors.
Mm-hmm.
Like my best friend's sister and brother were like seniors, and I was hanging out with them a lot and their friends, and we would play volleyball like every weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm in 9th grade, but somehow, some way, I became the person that let everybody know when we were playing volleyball. And it would be people that were seniors hitting me up like, yo, are y'all playing volleyball this week? Because I was real tapped in with like, like the cooler seniors.
Mm-hmm.
And, they're just the regular seniors and the cool ones. I was tapped in with the cool ones.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the people would hit me up like, yo, y'all playing volleyball this weekend? And I was like, that's cool. Like, they're coming to me trying to figure out what's going on, So, like, I feel like ever since then, and I, like, organized, like, like, random, like, a show for my boy Levi in Oklahoma once.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody from that show fit in my car.
Wow. Yeah.
We just drove around the city, picked everybody up. It was, like, 8 of us in the crowd. And, yeah, like fast forward, it's like moving to LA. It's just a lot of people I was connected to, friends that made music, friends that made art, friends that did a lot of different things. And everybody I know knows everybody I know, right? So like the events was a place where everyone could connect.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how it started off, just the immediate friend group and their friends and their friends, just whatever started from who we had closest to us, and just, built a community like that. It was very cool, like how it first started.
Mm-hmm. So Something Dope is, I've been to an event. It's a vibe, it's a party, and open mic is an aspect of it. So what is the breakdown of how someone can find their way on the stage, or how can someone find Something Dope for the people?
Yeah, so the open mic, man, is its own beast.
Yeah.
Like, this thing really put us to the next level. It started, like, one of my homies, Josh, we had, like, 700 artists in L.A. that had submitted to perform at our event. Never booked any of them. And he said, man, these could be your customers, like, all these people. We had all their data. And I was like, well, we don't sell anything, And I just, like, always thought about him saying that, like, these could be our customers. And, it's not that I look at these artists as customers. It's just more so like, dang, these are all people that want to work with us, but we can only work with a few of you at a time. And we don't really have time to go through any of this. So the best thing for us to do was just to give a chance for everybody and do an open mic. So that way everybody could come, everybody could the stage. So it just became a much more inclusive environment, and it wasn't just about us, finding the best, most poppin' artists. It was just more about, like, everybody come through. We're going to create some dope vibes. And, yeah, man, it just kept going. And it was way easier, too. Like, that was a big reason why I decided to work much harder on it. Like, when you book artists, it's like, for one, you got to communicate with like 5 of them, right?
Right.
So just the amount of people I had to communicate with was high, especially if we're doing like 3 events in, 7 days. That's like 15 people I got to communicate with to some extent, and make flyers for, and make sure that they're promoting, and make sure we got their music. And, everything was just times 15, right? But with the open mic, it was like I didn't really have to communicate with any artist, you know, like we just had to promote it and market it. So just the ease of it was something that attracted me more to it, because, you know, booking artists was hard and they didn't really bring anybody. It was just very like draining, and I wasn't making any money for like a year. But yeah, like we got something special now though. So.
No, very special. Like when sometimes people shy away from open mics because you're like, oh, I don't know this artist, or this person's bringing like 2 people, or like everyone is watching their friends on stage. When I went to Something Dope, I didn't get that vibe at all. I felt like you become the artist, you can become your artist's favorite artist. You know what I mean? Like the vibe. And then while you were seeing people perform on stage, having a good time, you still seeing networking, you still seeing people, like-minded people, you still seeing people that just came out for a fun night on a Wednesday or Thursday, you know. From my personal experience, I met, like my first show, like I went to go see Flying the Boss do that thing. Shout out to Flying. Shout out to Bobby, killing it. But in that crowd, I mean, the first person I walked in and saw, I think I saw Criddle. I saw Bundy in the crowd. I have a picture where it's Bundy and then Roku's there. Like, so, and these are people that I've either got to interview, doing creative things with, or people that I got love for just from, that one experience. So I definitely suggested to people going out, taking the time out on a Wednesday or Thursday. We're gonna get into, you got a party coming up that's not based on any of that. It's just like you're creating the vibes, bringing people together. But I do suggest people follow Something Dope, go experience this. It's nothing like this else in LA, damn near the world, like that I have, been a part of it. I've been out, you know what I mean? So I definitely, I commend you for that. Appreciate that's why I say you are king, a young legend, because like this shit's going up.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, it's not a typical open mic. Like people, it was honestly kind of funny because like we were getting like certain negative like feedback with just the whole open mic aspect. A lot of people are too cool for it. Yeah, like they're like, I never even went to open mic before doing this, and like even certain venues, they were like, "Oh, you're doing an open mic." So it's like we almost had to like break down walls to just make an open mic cool, because it just was so much negative attached to saying it's an open mic. Like, but it's like now that we got these bigger, cooler things, now these cool people are circling back. But yeah,
nah, definitely. Following you on socials is super. It's funny because so you always dropping gems. Even if from, like I say, the last interview, there was a lot of gems in that. But then you do take the time to deactivate, like, hey, I'm stepping away from the IG. But from things that you post, even your Twitter, there's just recite one. If you could like respond to this, or like kind of like what you were thinking. You have one tweet where you say, "Don't let success get in the way of success."
Very important.
So expound on that from someone that calling yourself an entrepreneur, you calling yourself whatever, like whatever title you go by, from someone that is getting it out the mud, like, and is now seeing success over all these years. Like, what does that tweet mean?
Yeah, so like, don't let success. Wait, what was it? Don't
let success get in the way of success.
Oh yeah. Don't let success get in the way of success. Just a random thought. A lot of these things, it's just me talking to myself, right? So it's like, don't let success get in the way of success. I'll just give you a scenario, right? You want to be a rapper. That's your whole dream. All you ever wanted to do was be a rapper your whole life. You turn 21, you get a new job. You're selling solar panels. You still rapping every day. You got the job selling solar panels to fund the rap career. You making $100,000 a year. You at the club every week. You living life. You bought a new car. You got a sick apartment. You love selling these solar panels. You get into the bag, and you still rapping. But you work a lot. You know what I'm saying? But you still rapping.
Right.
But you slowly start to rap less, right? You know what I'm saying? Because you're doing so well selling solar panels, right? And growing up, you had a best friend too that wanted to rap. Y'all the same age.
Mm-hmm.
Your best friend been broke for 3 years, but you've been getting to the bag.
Mm-hmm.
You've been selling these solar panels. So now both of y'all 26, 27. You still making bank selling these solar panels. But your boy that you've been rapping with for 7 years, you know, you ain't been rapping for the last 4 years, but he kept going. Your boy that's been rapping just signed $1 million deal. He just made more money than you did in the last 7 years selling solar panels in one deal from rapping, keep going consistently.
Yeah.
And you are still doing well, and you've been doing well, but you put less energy towards rapping because you was making $100,000 over here at this job. You know what I'm saying? You was too caught up on, oh, I'm already making good money, that you forgot about the big picture. You know what I'm saying? Because what's hundreds of thousands to hundreds of millions or millions? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, very big difference. Like, you can make $1 million in a year, or you can make $100,000 for 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you trying to do? Mm-hmm. So either way, they both take 10 years, you know, to get to at least the first M or something. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, that's pretty much where it came from. You know, it's like people get success in one way or another and just give up on their dreams or just forget about their dreams. You know, it's like, I thought you wanted to be a big producer, but you got this job making $150,000 a year, so you're not making beats no more.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you got too much success over there. That's why it's like you have to keep a fine line of being uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? You get too comfortable, you're going to forget about everything you wanted to do. And then you're going to be older and you're just going to be thinking about all those things you couldn't did. But meanwhile, you work until you're 65 to get that pension.
Mm-hmm. When creating something dope, when you started seeing the success, bringing in the open mics, you a regular, you got locations hitting you up. Did you start to settle in that success? Or
never settle?
Never settle.
It's like,
I mean, I know the answer, but I just kind of wanted to see, like, did you have that moment of like, did you bask in that, like, that success, or did you like?
We ain't basked in nothing. Yeah. We bask in distress. It's good to, like, you want to stay uncomfortable because I try to stay connected to, like, the hardest working, most innovative version of myself. And the only way you can do that is if you constantly got problems and adversities you got to overcome. Because imagine you haven't faced no issues in 5 months. Things are just smooth sailing. You might not be as fast or as quick of a problem solver as you used to be. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it's like, the more obstacles we can face now, the better we'll be prepared to take on anything in the future. You know, we just did like 2,000 people in 4 days. Like, that's a scary thing to attempt. But now that we did it and faced it, we know better what to do next time. You know what I'm saying? And just refining it as we go. Like,
okay.
But yeah.
Nah, for sure.
Tough
for sure.
out here.
Yes, because to expound on that, now you guys have the radio station. You are part of a radio station. You have a show on the radio station. So tell the people about that. Like, kind of a little bit about how that came to be, and, you know, just on what your station is about, what your show is about. Yeah,
so we got a radio station. Shout out Maiwan. Shout out Dash Radio. Shout out Jeremy. Maiwan's just a very big fan of us. You know, he'd been following us on socials for a little while and saw the vibes, and then he came to an event and he was like, oh, y'all are legit. Like, you know, it's not just this thing online. Like, this is real people. Like, they're here right now. And he just, you know, like, offered us to have a show on Dash. We're able to put independent artists on their Discovery channel. It's legit. Like, people can't pay us to be on there. It's just off the strength of the music. They report to Mediabase, which can help, like, you know, songs chart. Like, it's how they just track like numbers and stuff like that. But yeah, you know, it's just the beginning of the next level of resources that we'll be able to offer to our community and just any artist. Like, you don't got to be a part of the community, whatever that means. I don't even know what being a part of the community. It's not like you got to get a tattoo, like, you know,
right?
But like, whatever, you know, we're just here to provide everything we can bring back, you know.
Where growing up, were you like a radio head? Were you the kid that was listening to?
You know, I do have a special place for the radio. You know, like, I would always listen to the Nephew Tommy
Hey, I fuck with Nephew Tommy.
I'm not gonna lie. Nephew Tommy's prank calls don't got nothing on my prank calls, and his prank calls probably staged. I'm top prank callers in the nation.
Really?
Dog, in the world.
Man, next time you on here, we gotta prank call somebody for sure.
Bro, I'm dangerous with it.
Danger. You ever heard the one Nephew Tommy where he called the dude and said that the sperm got switched up?
Oh my God, no, I haven't, but that's already hilarious.
Yeah, he called this white guy and was saying that like, hey, like, you know, that you and your wife's gonna have my baby. Like, there's gonna mix up. And he was calling the guy like, hey, like, you want my black baby? Like, don't, you know what I'm saying? Don't put me on child support.
Oh my God.
Like, I want to make sure you ain't rape. It's like, that was a funny
skit. See, I love a good premise, man.
Yeah.
Like, cause I'm a vicious prank caller. Like, I love prank calling people where I just need a certain amount of information about them. Maybe where they work, you know what I'm saying? Maybe different things they got going on. Like, I've done prank calls where I'll pretend to be, like, imagine you work at like PacSun in the mall. I'll pretend to be like a PacSun regional manager and just prank call somebody and like, we're giving you the day off.
Oh shit! Yeah,
you know, take the day off. You earned it.
That's vicious. That's vicious.
I won't let it go on too long though. I ain't trying to ruin nobody's life.
See, I was a dumbass prank caller. When I was a kid, I was calling 911, not knowing that like they call you back. Yeah, they'll call you back. Dude, one time I did it at I was a habitual 911. I did it at a restaurant. I was in Louisiana. I did it at a restaurant, and the cop came to the restaurant. The first person he runs into is my dad. He's like, hey, like, and he shows him the picture. Like, I guess, like, when
they had a picture of you?
Yeah, when you call 911 from like a payphone or a phone, like, it takes a picture.
Oh, that's genius.
Yeah, this is like late 90s, 2000.
Where's the camera at?
On the phone, like the little red bar that you see on like payphones. Like, we dating ourselves.
There's a camera?
There's a camera on there. And when you call 911, it shows the person that called.
And first of all, your ass went outside to the payphone.
You paid to do a prank call on 911.
Because when I realized they'll call your house back, I still had to do it one more time. I was like, fuck, I want to do this shit again.
It's like touching a hot stove.
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
This is like the 7th thing I found out about you. It's just utterly ridiculous. You know what?
Nah, I got problems with it. Yeah.
I knew about the different things. Like, they called back and all that. So I never messed with 911. But I was tearing up the streets.
Yes, for sure.
Prank calling stores. I was like doing 3-way prank calls. I would call McDonald's and then I'll put them on 3-way. It was like a different place, like a Chinese restaurant. And I'll just be on mute. And that's what I did with like a lot of friends. Like, even now, like, Bundy's probably experienced it. Like, he'll call me and next thing you know, he's talking to Jeremy. He'll be like, where y'all at? And Jeremy will be like, what are you talking about? I'm at home. Be like, what? Where's Jordan? He's like, what? Jordan's not here. You know, so I was like, yeah, life for me is a never ending prank.
That's dope. Having fun with life. I'm going back to another tweet that I read. You wrote this in like 2019, but it's very current today. You said you can't blame someone for judging you based on where you currently are in life. They can't see your future like you can.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, like you can't blame, because at that time, you know, it's like I've always just had this feeling of being meant for bigger things, and I always felt like people should be opening doors for me or should be connecting me with this or that. You know what I'm saying? It's like I just always felt like people should understand what I bring to the table, and it's like, yo, if you can plug me in there, plug me in there. And I felt like I wasn't getting plugged in places fast enough and stuff like that. And it's like, you know, I was feeling like people couldn't see what all I had to offer, which isn't their fault. You know, maybe it was my own fault. But really, it was just like a reminder to everyone else. It's like people genuinely can't see it. You know, this guy might be the next biggest artist in a year, and he's like, man, these guys tripping over here. Bunny better have me for his Bunny's pick, or in a year I ain't gonna talk to him no more. I'm popping.
Yeah,
put me first. You know, that's like, but you know, it's like, yeah, you know, people, but it's not about being upset that they can't see it. It's about understanding that they can't see it. Like, I can't see this because I just can't see it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like you can't be mad at people for not seeing everything you see in yourself, you know? It's like you have to understand that these people just don't know.
Right. And I brought that up because in news and like a trending topic, we saw that play out with the Michael B. Jordan situation. He was on a red carpet event for his movie like Creed, and there was someone
the corny boy.
Yeah, the corny boy from it. But this happened in 7th grade. These are kids. These are someone that like, oh, why you got headshots? Why you carrying around headshots and things like that? And that's why they call him corny. But he chose that time to like, no, I'm gonna get you, like, be petty.
Because those are the moments that give you that fire, man. That fire can last years.
Yeah.
And after that fire burns out, you might have to, take some fire from somebody else. Maybe a couple years later, somebody else called you corny. So it's like, I bet.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not picking sides on which. I see both sides of it, but in that sense of like, for him, I'm like, dude, like these kids, your classmates, they didn't see your vision. They didn't know you were going to become Adonis. They didn't know you were going to become Killmonger. Like, but I'm not blaming him either for when you have your moment,
because those people might have been bullies.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She might have been a bully back in the day. And hey, there's
in 7th grade. Not in 7th grade.
He had already done like hardball.
Well, he did hardball for sure. Yeah.
Either way, she called him corny.
Yeah.
Hater.
Probably wanted to fuck too back then.
Yeah. For yourself, do you feel like you've had that moments where, like, man, nobody saw my vision. They called me this, they called me that. Like, in that moment, what road would you take? Would you have done the same thing or even extra? Like,
I probably wouldn't have done what he did.
Okay.
As much as I would have loved to, I probably would have taken a different route. I probably would have, because what did she say? She said, "Do you remember me?" or something.
No,
we go way back.
Like that.
He said that to her?
No, she said to him.
She said go way back. Yeah, see me, I would have been like, we go way back? Oh, to where? Like, I would have been like, oh, we had a class together? What was, like, I would have been like, I don't remember you.
Right.
Like, I'm like, I don't remember you at all. Sorry. My life's been too filled with amazingness. Can't remember. Too rich.
Yeah.
Too rich to remember. I ain't buy the extra storage on my Neuralink. I ain't go back that far. I only paid for my Neuralink memory for the last 20 years.
Talk that talk.
I don't remember nothing.
Dope. Being based in music, what's your top 3 albums all time?
See, I'm bad with favorites.
You are? Oh, okay.
Yeah, like
I am too, but I just like asking that question just to see.
Yeah, like I would say one of my favorite albums, just throwing it out there, The Life of Pablo.
Okay.
That's a special one.
That is.
I would say I Decided, Big Sean. Like, I got some special things connected to that.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. I'm weird with the music I listen to. I just more so listen to specific songs versus just like a whole album.
Having a radio show, having the hottest, just open mic, events in LA. Also on the music tip, like, what is an artist that you feel like people are sleeping on that has came across your Rolodex?
So many.
So many?
Yeah. So many. Like, there's so many talented artists that I'm meeting where I'm just overwhelmed. That's why I'm out here trying to find more resources to bring back, because ultimately it's like I can't do too much for them but put them on a stage, It's like that'll only do so much so many times in LA, at least with what we got right now. So many talented artists. And it's like, I wouldn't say that people are sleeping on this artist. They just don't know about these artists yet.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm just encouraging all of these talented artists that I know to just work hard, make lots of content. Like, if it takes 1,000 videos for your song to go viral, do 1,000 videos. That's the advice. You're dope. You can make it. Just do 1,000.
Okay. So we got Something Dope, the record label coming. What are you looking for in an artist?
Dope.
Just dopeness.
what I look for most in an artist is a hard worker. You know, like someone that just really works hard, because there's a lot of very talented people, you know, but sometimes people that are just super talented, like they can be kind of lazy, you know, and yeah, they're super talented, but like, can you get them to work very hard? You know, like, so hard worker, talent, of course, like hard work and talent are right beside each other. And, you know, definitely not going to look for someone that's not talented by any means, but it's like the hard work. Talent is a minimum. Hard work is a necessity, like for me, I would say. And someone that's like multifaceted, like I definitely get excited when I hear an artist and say that like they record themselves. Or if an artist says that, you know, like they play an instrument, like that's more exciting too. It just shows like how much they've invested into their craft, you know, because say you meet like a rapper, right? Like they could have just started rapping a couple years ago. They might have some good songs, but they don't know how to do too much of anything other than rap. And it's like they, you know, maybe they don't record them. So they just get in there and go. Yeah. You know, like that's not necessarily the type of, which there are some songs that are amazingly created like that, you know. But like I love like songwriters, you know, like artists that can. It's hard to create just off of the moment, but if you can just sit down anytime and just write a song like to a piano or guitar or something like that, that's like when I'm like, oh, like they're legit.
For sure. I mean, we've been shouting out something dope all throughout the interview, but what's next for Jordan St. Pierre? And we're gonna end with this, but what's next for Jordan St. Pierre?
What's next for Jordan St. Pierre? You know, it's like, it's kind of hard to think of myself as a person. Like I'm so caught up in like being this brand. So it's like first thing I think about is what's next for me is what's next for the brand. But if we're talking outside of the brand, you know what I'm saying? I would say for myself, starting up more brands.
Yeah.
So there's definitely a few things on the list that I'm looking at plotting at. Going harder on the art. Like, you know, I've sold one piece, $1,500.
Hell yeah.
First art show ever. I've only had like 2 art shows. So, you know, trying to keep that record high and the price higher. So selling more art, getting into fashion more. And, you know, just like building out like the St. Pierre brand, like, you know, some bath towels, some bath rugs.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like maybe some St. Pierre silverware. Like
that shit lit. That's your dough. I'm one of those people that like, there's not many things I can afford from Tiffany's, but when I see like Tiffany's has like silverware or that's affordable, or they might have a coffee mug, I'm like, oh, I need that. I need that. Like, you know, same thing with Kill. And I heard you skateboard, or that's been in yeah. So are you still into like skating?
You know, I always will be a skateboarder. Yeah. Like I was just talking about skateboarding today. Like. And I could get on a skateboard right now and do like an impossible.
Hell yeah.
Right now.
Who's your top 3 skaters?
Yeah. What's up?
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right now.
Who's your top 3 skaters?
Top 3 skaters. I'm like, I wasn't too big into following pro skateboarders that much. Even when I was like, you know, like sponsored and stuff like that. Yeah. But like Nigel Houston is definitely like, because when I was young, this guy was like 11. Like I was young, but he was young. Like he was like 11.
Bro, I remember he was on the Tony Hawk game. Like he was like he was like
with the
kid
dreads,
with the
bro.
dreads.
I'm like, how is this kid doing all this with these dreads?
Bro.
His hair was like almost to his feet.
Yes,
it's like that makes it that much harder. It's like you might get tangled up. You might.
Paul Rodriguez,
P-Rod, he was another one.
Bucky Lassick,
P-Rod, this guy can skate switch like no other.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And you know what's weird is like I really liked Ryan Sheckler. Yeah, like I don't know if it's because the TV show.
I think it was. I mean, he was a cool ass kid. Like, but no, yeah.
And everything he did was just perfect. Like he was just so clean. Just his kick flips. Like he was crushing.
Yeah. I was like Bob Berquist. You know, because I feel like he came.
Yeah,
from
so
the,
you gonna wait? Yeah,
yeah. I can went back.
That's the era where I'm familiar with, though.
Oh,
like this whole area. This
Yeah. Real Ryan Sheckler. Yeah, but Bob Berquist, like, I mean, I feel like he came from the mud. Like he and out there in Brazil where they didn't even have like everything that there was in the States. So like the fact that he got it out the mud like that, like I always fuck with Bob Berquist like that.
Yeah.
All right, man. Tell people where we can find you on your socials. Tell people where we can find these Something Dope events.
Let's go. Follow Some Dope at Some Dope for the People. Follow me, Jordan St. Pierre. Stay tuned. Hopefully you hear about one of those names.
For sure.
Randomly.
All right, man. Stay tuned. Definitely make your way to a Something Dope event. It's going, I mean, you just had one in Vegas.
Yeah, it'll come to you.
It's gonna come to you.
It. Like we'll do it in your front yard.
Right. I mean, I used to live in Louisiana. I used to live in Texas. So I have viewers that still like check out my pod. If they ever get a chance to come to LA, check out Something Dope. Like I'm gonna take you. Like I need to go to more myself.
If you watch this podcast,
yes,
and you see me at an event, be like, "Yo, I saw your interview, Art Kills Boredom," and you said you would get me on stage because I saw the interview. I'm gonna get you on stage.
Let's go. And Sam, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
And I'm gonna look and see anybody that hits me up. If they follow you on Instagram, I'm gonna be like, "Oh, Seb told them to watch it and to tell me." So
hell yeah,
it got to be somebody from Louisiana
for sure. And we out. This has been another episode of Art Kills Boredom. Your host, Creative J,
Jordan St. Pierre.
Thank you for coming, my man.
Sure, appreciate you.
All right, we out.